What up, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Hood Talk. Let's get it. A woman is released from jail in New Orleans on murder charges. On the morning of June the 22nd, Mia Lindsay and her accomplices were on Bourbon Street that night. And somehow, the two ends up in an argument with a 39-year-old man named Christopher Oates Jr. Christopher Oates Jr. was shot by Lindsay near Toulouse Street. Sources say 2 days later, the police were arrested in Baton Rouge and when arrested Lindsay and her accomplices. Lindsay's attorneys asked for a bond reduction, but was denied by the judge. The DA wants Lindsay to remain in custody, but Lindsay's mother wants her child out, rightfully so, on an ankle monitor at that, and says that she will be the supervisor of her daughter for 24 hours and a day. You believe it, y'all? But the judge has something else in common. No, he says, citing that Miss Lindsay will be a flight risk and need to be back in custody. In Orleans Parish Criminal Court, Judge Nancy Campbell said, on December the 18th, Judge Nancy Campbell said granted permission for accused killer Mia Lindsay to leave Louisiana only at her home. For her to be incarcerated for 24 hours, 7 days a week at her residence in Columbus, Ohio, Mississippi. While waiting trial in New Orleans, records show that the judge stipulates that Lindsay must return to her New Orleans courtroom for a January 22nd hearing on motions on her case, and that she must hire a private attorney upon her release from prison. It is clear that Lindsay bonded out in time to enjoy her New Year's at her home, but online records show she no longer was at her house in New Orleans. A New Orleans Justice Center jail on Saturday said on December the 28th, Lindsay, 22, was indicted in early October by a New Orleans judge and grand jury on charges of second-degree murder. Oh, woman, you in trouble. Being charged with second-degree murder as well as obstruction of justice. A judge set Campbell and her bond at $532,673 at the December the 18th hearing. Her attorney has filed a court notice of possible justification and defense. Liz is accused of firing gunshots in the 600 block of Bourbon Street around 4:07 a.m. on July the 22nd, one of which struck 39-year-old bystander Christopher Oates Jr. in the head, killing him instantly, you all. The father of two from Altamonte Springs, Florida, beautiful place. Oates Jr., a warehouse manager for SeaWorld in Orlando, if you haven't been there, go, was making a weekend tourist visit to New Orleans with siblings. Again, his siblings, this man came down here with his siblings and cousins. Wow. With his siblings and cousins when he was killed. A New Orleans police said Lindsay fled the scene of the fatal Bourbon Street shooting in June earlier this year, but was tracked down and arrested 2 days later in Columbus, Ohio, Mississippi. Through a joint operation involving New Orleans Police Department, Louisiana State Police, and the FBI of New Orleans Violent Crime Task Force, Columbus, Ohio, Mississippi Police, and Marion County, Mississippi Sheriff Officer, veteran prosecutor said it is extremely rare that a murder suspect be granted permission to leave the country. It's just not going to happen. They just don't do that. But while the trial here is pending, particularly when the suspect has been hunted as a fugitive, available online court documents give no indication of the judge's reasoning for the decision. They're not letting that lady out no time soon because she's a flight risk. Okay. The records also do not indicate that the Orleans Parish District Attorney's Office launched an objection to Lindsay being allowed to leave the state. Right? Wrong. The DA's office requested a higher bail. The judge overruled our request, and we objected to an OPDA spokesman, Keith Lampkin, said in a statement to Fox 8 News. The defendant is now out on bond, and we look forward to achieving justice. For the families of the innocent victim, Judge Campbell and Orleans Parish DA Jason Williams are former colleagues, they say. So, they working together. Trust me, they worked at the same law firm. Moving on. Williams, a criminal defense former attorney, Campbell, who was elected to the criminal court bench in December 2020, was the judge chosen to swear Williams into at the January 2021 ceremony. Scheduled to face trial with Neil Lindsay are two co-defendants, Mariah Campbell and Cameron Lindsay. Mariah is charged with accessory after the fact and has been free since, posting a $50,000 bond earlier this month. On the other hand, Cameron Lindsay is charged with obstructing of justice and had a bond of $5,000 that she too has posted, and in both are now awaiting trial, sources say. My take on this is, right, this is a very, 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 very intriguing case. You have a co-defendant and you have a defendant, you have a defendant and two co-defendants, right? Now, this woman, first of all, this guy came all the way down here to visit, doing something, to visit our beautiful city, doing something for his job assignment, right? Our New Orleans people, we want to shoot guns in the air, like it's like bullets don't come down. Really? I'm quite sure you heard of everything goes up, must come down, right? So, careless people on Bourbon Street shooting guns in the air. Bullets coming out the guns. Guns go up all the way in the air. Bullets go all the way up in the air. They have to come back down, people. It's a must. They can't go all the way up in the air and continue on going all the way up in the air. They have to come down. Unfortunately, it came down and hit that man in the head. And now he's no longer here. All because of 3 people careless decision. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. People, I can't stress this enough, man. Protect your weapons. Be careful with your weapons. I always preach this. Other people shouldn't have to die or have an injured life for the rest of their life due to your carelessness. I myself is a victim of gun violence. I myself have got shot due to someone else's carelessness. I myself suffer with post-traumatic stress. I myself, life hasn't been the same since that incident. But no one wants to hear that. If you're a victim of gun violence, if you die of gun violence by the hands of someone else, carelessness, because life going to continue on moving, right? So, I guess what I'm saying is, be responsible for your own being. Now this guy is dead. And I'm not the one that wish jail on anyone, man, but like I say, I'm a victim of gun violence. I know how it affects one's life, one livelihood, when you can't be what you want to be, when you can't be what you need to be, whether it's to yourself or whether it's to loved ones. According to the severity of your injury, that's gonna determine the outcome of your life. Now, hadn't that man been shot, a bullet skipped him in the arm, okay, cool. Fine and dandy. He got another chance, right? But in this case, wrong. No. This guy was out there on Bourbon Street doing the job. Bullet hit him in the head. Now he's no longer here. Who gonna suffer? His wife, his kids, his mother, his father, brothers and sisters. He's no longer here. 39 years old, I'm sorry. 39 years old. This guy's gone. All at the careless hands of a 22-year-old. And his friends, right? That's messed up. That's messed up, man. That's highly, highly messed up. You know? So, I'm not going to say that the suspect should be in jail for the rest of her life, because I'm not a judge. And I'm glad I'm not a judge. So I'm not going to sit up here and say that the suspect has to be in jail for the rest of her life. But should the suspect be held accountable? Yes, she should. Yes, she should. Whether it's 5 years or 10 years. Yes, she should. Maybe even 15 years. Again, yes, she should. Co-defendants? Yeah. Although they out, but they need to be in jail as well. Because here's why I say that. What they're going to do is, if they don't get a slap on the wrist, no, I'm sorry. If they do get a slap on the wrist, guess what's going to happen? They're going to do the same thing. They're young-minded. They're going to do the same thing. Right? So, wake them up. It's only obvious that the judge should wake them up. That's what they deserve. They really do deserve that. You know? And being from New Orleans, you would think one know better. You would think that. You know, in New Orleans, this been going on for years. This been going on for years. Shooting in the air. Blah, 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 blah. Shooting guns in the air for New Year's. What else? 4th of July. Blah, 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 blah. I'll be honest. In my younger years, I used to do it. I'm not making it about me, but like I say, over at Hood Talk, we give the real, authentic testimonies, right? So with that being said, that's all I know. I can recall when I was young, my first gun. I couldn't wait till the 4th of July or New Year's. What it was, a 357? I couldn't wait to hit that thing in the air when I was young. Bah, 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 bah. No one told me, don't do that. Even the older guys who was on the set, they didn't even tell me nothing. You know? And that's crazy because in hindsight, like, those bullets, I'm highly thankful and I'm grateful and have mad gratitude that none of those bullets came down and killed someone. You know? So, like I said, in hindsight, looking back, man, I could have killed somebody. I did that. I'm talking about, what? Probably for about 3 years straight. Every gun I got, I hit it in the air when I was young. You know, when you're young, you be wanting to make sure that thing work in case you're going to need it, right? So every gun I got, I hit them in the air. I'll be honest, until one day, I saw this guy, again, and I'm not making it about me, but like I said, at Hood Talk, we got to get it real, right? So I saw this guy who, I had to be what? 16, 17 around that time. So, you know, they had this guy who, he probably was about 4 years older than me around this time. And so if I was 16, 17, he had to have been about 19 or 20 around that time, right? And he had moved around the area where I was from. Not where I was from, where I was growing up at when I was 16. That's the area, it was Constance and Melford. That's the street that they had a corner store on, and me and my cousin at the time, we started hustling on that corner. So the guy, he moved. This guy, he wound up moving around there with his grandmother. I guess he was staying with her. And, you know, he was like I said, he was like 4 years older than me, maybe 3. And, you know, he new to the block, but he won't get acquainted with you know, with the little hustlers or the little, you know, the little homies around there, right? He hooks up with us. Me in particular, because I was just a little hothead. So I guess he gravitated to that, and me not knowing, I don't know if he was a hothead where he come from, or he saw what we was doing or what I was doing, and he wanted to do that. So, you know, he wound up hooking up with us, and there you go. It was all to the races from there. You know, we got cool, and we showing him our project where we come from, the St. Thomas. You know, he showing us his project downtown where he come from, which was the Florida project. So I said that to say this. I can recall one time going down in the Florida project with him, right? It's had to been about 10:30 at nighttime, right? We go to the Florida. He already had something hooked up with one of his guys that he knew. I'm in a blind. I don't know. I'm just with him, right? And all I remember is he got a shotgun pump. We goes in the alley in a house next to the Florida project. We goes in the alley. We gets out of this car. He had to run that, and that back in those days. This had to be 1993. Yeah, 1993. He had a Regal with a gold Regal with some flakes in it, drop top with buku sound in it, with some choosing Vols on it. I'll be honest, that thing was nice. Man, that thing was nice. I ain't lying. That boy Slim thing was nice. So, yeah, I can recall us getting out, going in the alley. He talking to some dude he know. I don't know the dude. I'm from Uptown, right? All I remember him coming back with a shotgun pump. Like, Lord, that thing now. Oh, boy, you hit somebody with that. Somebody in trouble. So, right after that, we go spin the bin in the Florida project. Honestly, I think this was my first time probably in the Florida. Yeah. This was my first time in the Florida project with him. And we goes in there. I don't know these dudes. He know the dudes. He come from down here. All I remember is us walking through a hallway, and they had like 3 dudes in the hallway. I can remember all their names right now to this day, but I'm not going to say their names. Let me see. Yeah, 2 or 3 dudes in the hallway. And, you know, by me not knowing the dudes, I knew one of them. One of them was his cousin because he used to come uptown. His cousin used to come uptown sometimes by him, and I had already met him. But the other dude, I ain't knew him. I met him that day. So that time, you know, we in the hallway with these dudes from the Florida, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how I was feeling. I can't remember, but in hindsight, like I said, looking back on it, that was something childish and dangerous of me to do because, first of all, I don't know these dudes. Second of all, you know, anything could have went down. But I'm glad it didn't. I'm glad me and dude relationship was solid than I thought it was. So I remember we would leave. He dapped them all. He was showing them the tool. They showing them their gun because they were strapped in the hallway, you know. So as we leaving, I remember Slim, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just call him Slim, the dude who I was with. As we going down the stairs, about to walking up the sidewalk, he pulled it out. Mine is like, at this time it's going on 12 o'clock probably. He just started hitting in the ground. Doom! Doom! Took me all by surprise. I'm like, Lord, what the fuck you doing that for? Like I said, it took me by surprise, right? So I'm like, what the hell is he doing that for? Shooting in the ground. So, you know, later on he told me, right? Man, you'll never want to shoot in the air. This is my first experience when somebody gave me game like that. Because I had asked him, like, why you did, what something happened? Would I miss something? No, I just wanted to check it out. I just wanted to see what, you know what I'm saying, see if it was working or not. Oh, I'm like, all right. Shooting in the ground for? Man, you'll never want to shoot in the air, man. You can hit somebody. And besides, always shoot in the ground, because if something happening, or if somebody, if somebody waking up to your shooting while you looking up, they can be, aiming at you. So it's always good to shoot down so your head is not all the way down. Your head is like at a level basis, so you can see if somebody, if somebody reacting to you shooting. So I'm like, oh, all right. And that always stuck with me when he said that. And I remember from then on, after that, I stopped wasting bullets, shooting them in the air totally. But every now and then, if I did want to test something, I would shoot it in the ground from that point on. So that was some good game he gave me that stuck with me to this day. But moving on. I'm from New Orleans. I did a podcast the other day on Joe Biden commuting 37 inmates, and 2 of them being from Louisiana. One of those were former police officer Len Davis. Again, Len Davis, I repeat, to all my New Orleanians, Len Davis is off death row and now on a yard. He has been given a life sentence by Joe Biden. I'm going to let y'all know who Len Davis is. Everybody who's not from my city, New Orleans, Louisiana. Len Davis is a former police officer who, in 1995, decided that he won't beat up a guy, dirty police officer. He won't beat up a dude, you know what I'm saying, and got caught. A young lady named Kim Grove spotted them beating up this dude. The dude decided he won't file a complaint on him, and he got witnessed. Kim Grove. Kim Grove saw it. She's from downtown, right? Wrong. Len Davis decided that he won't get a hitman, which is the dude from downtown named Paul Hardy, allegedly. Paul Hardy, unfortunately, killed Kim Grove by the hands of police officer, New Orleans former police officer, Len Davis. Well, the whole thing got busted. They all got caught. Len Davis got the death penalty in federal prison. Up until now, he's been commuted. Crazy, right? Ridiculous. Kim Grove was an innocent woman. This lady was innocent. Like, they should have left his job ass on death row. That's what I don't understand, bro. Like, man, the justice system, bro. People would never understand how the justice system is set up, right? Really, for people to repeat crimes. It really is, in my opinion, set up for people to repeat crimes. if a person get life, if 10 people get life, if 10 people get life, I guarantee you, in 30 years or maybe 35 years, out of those 10, 8 gonna be home. 8 of those people coming home. And guess what? They making room for more people. I mentioned that. They making room for more people to come back. Nope. So, with that being said, time for me to pay some bills. Y'all know my motto. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. If you know somebody that not subscribed, tell them to subscribe. Hood Talk is where you get the best talk out in the city. Not the talk. Hood Talk. So with that being said again, Superfly Entertainment, I'm out. See you later.